Public comment, we have nothing for public comment. Approve the minutes of the December 20th and December 21st meeting. You got a copy of those in front of you. We'll entertain a motion.
Somebody needs to make a motion to have zero for both of them.
I move we accept the minutes of both of them, December 20 and 21st.
Second.
Got a motion from Zach and a second from Cecil. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Financial report. Leslie.
We had October, I'm slowly getting caught up, but the most fun thing in there is the sales tax report, which is up to current. We had a fantastic January, which is putting us 19.5% ahead of last year so far.
Wow.
And last year was 9.7 ahead of the year before that. I have a question. Last year, 9.7%, does that correlate with the Eastland School District taxes? Would they be up 9.7 as well? I
This
know.
is sales tax.
This is sales tax right
This
there.
is
Okay.
sales tax.
This is sales
Okay.
tax. This is what everybody.
Only sales
Yeah,
tax.
just-
But our
it's
property
just
tax and their
sales
property tax are,
Not equal?
no,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, this is sales tax.
The valuation is the same, but the rate is different.
Well, the school gives a $15,000 homeowners,
Right.
exemption, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Well,
and freezes it on seniors.
The city
It's
freezes
old
it on
folks.
seniors too.
On there.
the city what?
The city freezes it on seniors also.
Right. I'm talking about the homestead exemption. I think
Yeah.
they knock, the
Yeah.
school knocks 15,000 off. Not everybody does. I think just the school does.
Yeah, but then, after 65, I believe, then your taxes are froze at that rate when you were 65.
That's a good deal. The thing I'll point out about the little graph, if you haven't noticed, if you would have asked me to look at the graph and predict what's gonna happen, we're gonna go down in January. And you notice it went sharply back up. So that's kind of an interesting, I'm just going the last couple of year
Oh,
trend.
yeah.
It goes down from December to January, and this time it shot back up. So that's kind of an interesting little footnote
It really
to
is.
see what it does. This next month may go down and be below those others, but if it keeps that type of trend, and that line stays that far above all the way across, wow. I gotta take my hat off to the people in the community for shopping at home, for economic development, Tom Bailey,
Yes.
for the job they've done to build our community up and get people here, but we'll ride that horse as long as we can, Tom, keep it coming,
Sure.
so thank you. Anything else, Leslie?
Well, the price of goods are up 7%, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
that-
sales tax, of course.
Well, I mean, that's all just now happening, but that's still, the trend is there, as it adds to all of it, so we'll keep going with it and try to spend it wisely. Anything else?
No.
Anybody have any questions for Leslie? Thank you very much. All right. I believe it is time for the man himself. Biannual report from Tom Bailey.
All right.
According to our bylaws, we do report in September, January, and May. So this is January, and I don't want to be totally redundant, but, you know, things in my world move a little slow. So the building that's been under construction is still under construction, maybe. So anyway, Leslie, and you guys talked about sales tax, which we're really excited about. Let's go to the first slide there. I like before and afters. Now, this is Bowie Street. This is in the business park, and there's a video. You know how to do that?
Right
there you
here.
go. I guess you did. That's Bowie, and that's looking north on Bowie Street. Does that make sense? That was Full and Wider to the left. That they had just cleared off their property, and you can see what was on the right. Okay? All right, Leslie. Oh, sorry. And that's what it looks like now. We just finished this road, which is Bowie Street, that goes all the way through to the old Bankhead Highway, ties into Full and Wider, and ties into the new U.S. Sand and Gravel. And so that is a pretty dramatic difference. So that's the road into the business park, and it's a serious 7 inches of concrete that's going to be there from now on. So anyway, that's our foundation.
Well, that business park, sorry to interrupt you, but that business park at night looks alive and vibrant and invites you to Eastland, Texas.
Yeah.
If you're flying down the interstate, that's gonna catch your eye because, you know, here's this bright spot over here, all the lights at Fullerweiler and the other places.
It's
So it's pretty
exciting.
nice.
It's exciting, and you know, Full Water, the thing about getting them in out there is the thing sat there, you know, without any activity, and Full Water was a business that was potentially gonna leave town. You know, they're kind of our anchor out there. They got the lights on, they're you know, they're creating jobs, they're creating life. And it's kind of like in the old days, you put a Sears store in the mall and all the other stores come, and that's what's happened there. Okay, Ron. This was a year ago. That's what the US Sand and Gravel's lot looked like, and that's what it looks like now.
Wow.
So that's pretty neat.
That's
A lot
nice.
of people have told me that I feel like I have a house that looked like that.
Yeah.
Really?
So it's really pretty. Next one, Roma. And that's just, that again shows Bowie Street as it ties into the businesses. And then you can see the concrete plant back there in the back. And then beyond that, you know, we still have property. Anyway, that's kind of exciting. New tractor supply, that's what that looked like about 6 months ago. And that's what it's looking like now. And actually, every day it changes. If you go by there today, I mean, there's a lot of steel to the left, which is west to me, and they're paving their entrances. That thing, I'm flabbergasted how fast that thing's going up. They're doing a great
It's going
job.
fast.
And we've been visiting, JJ and I've talked to the folks. We're trying to do anything we can possibly to help the people that own the tractors, current tractor supply. We need to get a business in there. We don't need that big thing sitting empty. Next one.
Are they going to tie that to the Walmart parking lot? Do we know that yet?
We've talked to the realtor that put the whole thing together, and they said yes. That's not tied in yet, and really, the family, I never can remember. The Massengill family actually still owns a little piece of land between Walmart and Tractor Supply. So we've even talked to them about, you know, is that a potential EDI project to try to facilitate that little piece of land, and so we're on it. But at this point, there's a separate ownership in between there. But it needs to be put together for safety, for convenience, for everything. So, I'm sorry. This is Bart's property. That's not particularly, you know, it hadn't happened in the last 6 months, but it continually looks nicer and changes.
Yeah.
Their sales tax is going well. This is a business that, you know, brand new to our community, and, you know, it's potentially a sales tax machine over the years coming up.
Well, they weren't in the city limits until just recently, so, I mean,
That's right.
collecting taxes until just recently.
That's right. Yeah, it's, they were collecting taxes over on the Cisco, you know, until when they moved over, you know, and then there was a little lull in there. And when they moved into the Morgan building,
Yeah.
we started using getting sales tax then, but they weren't doing that because it was.
And then they moved out here and they weren't paying until they got
That's right.
annexed.
Exactly, yes, sir, that's correct. Okay, let's see what else we got. I just can't help but put this up there.
Yeah.
You know, you might get tired of seeing this, but it's so dramatic, you know? Okay,
Wow.
that's just unbelievable.
Wow.
We have, I've talked to a few prospects, you know, potentially looking at locating a business in what I'm calling the airport business park. I don't know if that's an official word or not. But, you know, you get a building, it's kind of like the Fullerwater deal. You get something like this out there, people want to be next to it.
Yeah.
And so it's really looking good. Okay. The Burks, this isn't an EDI project, but it's exciting. They're open and they've created jobs, and people, I hear a lot of people that have enjoyed shopping there. And this, you know, of course, Red Star, that's blowing and going, so still kind of new. And then this is Mr. Dove did some pictures for us with his drone, and did kind of some neat stuff showing what lots are still available and everything. And over to the lower right, that's El Reno Energy, and they're clearing off their deal and really making it look pretty good back there. I'm real pleased. We had a lot of dirt that came out of Bowie Street, and they wanted it, so that's a short haul for the contractor, just carry it back there, because they're trying to fill in.
You said Bowie Street goes all the way to the Bankhead Highway?
Yes, sir.
That's it right there.
Yeah, as you look at that picture, well, that's Bankhead going up and down, you know, east-west, it goes all the way through. That's really, Crockett is the first one you see there, and then Bowie's a little bit hard to
Okay.
see in that picture.
Crockett's next to is the first one.
Next to Bartier,
And
yes.
Booty's down there by Fulton.
That's correct, yes, that's a bad angle on Bowie, but anyway, yes, Zach, it goes all the way through.
And that Bankhead Highway, what is the one that goes all the way behind, I guess on Tractor Supply, isn't that Bankhead Highway?
It is,
Yeah.
but it doesn't go through.
It does not
There's
go through.
private ownership between there.
Okay,
And then that, down here at the bottom, you can see a little cluster of trees. The county actually owns some property there. You know, it doesn't, there's a county road that goes to those trees, and then there's an area between the end of the county road and what our Bonham Drive that's closed off through there. And there's kind of mixed feelings on whether it'd be good to open it or not. Open it up, it's kind of, Cecil would tell you, it makes it open for vandals and thieves and everybody else in the middle of the night. It's, you know, the El Reno people want it closed. You know, they don't want people coming in there. So
Oh,
anyway,
I don't blame them.
yeah, I don't either. You know, and I don't know what would gain by having it open, you know, but, and if I lived on that street in Oakland, I wouldn't really want truck traffic on it, so, you know. Anyway, progress. I think that's it in the wrong, oh, building sites, that sign's actually blown down, but you get the point, we do have.
Can't imagine it blew down.
We did a sign, that, I heard we had a few, a couple of weeks ago, it blew it down, so.
Sign's down in Austin by now, isn't it?
Probably. Yeah, it is.
You may be getting a telephone call from somewhere way down there.
It looked good for a while, though. Anyway, we do appreciate your support, thanks so much.
Well, we thank you.
Thank you.
Great
Yeah,
job.
Tom.
You and your board are doing, thank you very much. Item 7, the Board of City Commissioners discuss and take action on the following items. Item number 1 is discussion and consideration of resolution 2022-01, ordering the May general election.
Yes, sir. All this resolution saying that on May 7th, that we will have an election. The city's part of it's gonna be 2 commissioners, but they're all gonna run together with Eastland ISD, the Hospital District, and the Eastland County Water District. Early voting will begin April 25th, 2022 through May 3rd, 2022, 8 to 5. Early voting will be across the street at the courthouse, and then on election day, which will be May 7th, polls will be open from 7 to 7 at your precinct.
Whenever we combine an election with other entities, if we don't have any opposition to the incumbents, we can still cancel the election, is that correct?
We'll cancel the election next, if we don't have any opponents, we'll cancel it next meeting.
Yes.
Okay.
When's our time to get packets and all that stuff?
January 19th through February 18th.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
Tomorrow.
tomorrow through the next month.
Okay.
I move that we pass resolution 2022-01.
Got a motion from Zach, second from Richard, to pass 2022-01. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 2, discuss consideration and second reading to approve ordinance 22-883, an ordinance of the city of Eastland, Texas, changing the zoning use designation of property annexed into the city. Ordinance number 21-880 from agricultural open space district to multifamily district, residential district, amending the zoning district map for the city of Eastland to reflect such change and adopt the zoning district map so amended.
Y'all have a copy of the map. All this is stating, we brought, Magic Town Homes came to us and asked if they could bring that 4.73 into the city limits. We're just crossing all our Ts and dotting all the Is to make sure that when they decide to start building, that they're ready to go, that all the zoning's changed and everything's ready to go.
And we already passed the first reading.
We passed the first reading last month for this, and we officially brought the land into the city limits last month, but this month, we're just changing the zoning to
Zoning.
multifamily, yeah.
I move that ordinance 22-883 be approved on second reading.
Second.
Got a motion from Cecil and a second from Richard to pass ordinance 22-883, and let the note know that Ben McNabb has just arrived. Welcome, Ben.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried.
Hey, I apologize, guys.
Zach.
I'm gonna have to slip out. Thank you.
Gonna go watch your daughter play basketball, that's okay.
Let's get back
Don't
to
blame
the
you.
game.
All right. JJ?
All right, city manager's report with the GLO, we're awaiting the H&H study, which is the second topic, to see if the floodplain map changes any, before we can do a bunch in that project. I've been trying to get some clarification. I have Langford Group and Scott Hay to see if we can start moving forward with some of this project that has nothing to do with the floodplain map, I would say. There's a couple of streets over by the high school and stuff, I think that we could go ahead and get done that I'm pretty sure aren't gonna be taken off the list, just to show some movement in this. And so far, nobody with the GLO office can give us a straight answer. Again, the flood infrastructure grant, we completed the escrow account. They're getting their money. We've done everything in our part. The study's begun. We're just waiting for them to do their part. The last part of the wastewater treatment plant funds, we had I guess you could call it a kickoff meeting or whatever, with the contractor and the engineer. They're gonna start on that here in a couple weeks and should have that project, the new sewer line put in place, and everybody on that end of town will have the option to get on city sewer. The new pump line, we're waiting on the Texas Water Development Board. I did get confirmation that every bit of paperwork that we can turn in, us, EHT, they've got it. It's in,
Yeah, it's there.
we have nothing else to do but wait. So.
We're getting good at that.
Exactly. Traffic signals. I talked to the fire chief. He got with TxDOT. They're going to put up some control lights by the fire station. So when they move trucks in and out, that they can shut down traffic right there, and we don't really have to worry. We'll still have to worry, but not too much about it. Somebody running into a fire truck while we're backing into the station. Airport engineering's almost done. We have a meeting out there March 1st. Hopefully they're gonna begin work with the new expansion in the summer. Generator is up and going at the plant, at the ground storage tank, so knock on wood, we can pump water to the town now. So, that's about all I have in my report.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for JJ?
Thank you.
All right. Who's up? Code compliance.
I'm gonna do that. Tony, he had a family deal that he had to go do tonight. As you can see, they started the month with 27 cases opened, closed 26 of them, opened 18 more, for 19 total open cases right now. We had $156 worth of fines that were paid. We did have one person serve jail time in December for a total of $5,081. Yeah. So, that's what I have for code.
How many days is that?
A lot.
Is it still $50 a day?
100.
100 a day.
Jeez. It's a lot of days.
Still, that's a lot of days, guys.
Well, the crazy thing is you can go in at 11:55 PM and get out at 12:05 AM and get credit for 2 days.
Oh, really?
By law. By law.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Anybody have any questions on code compliance report?
Thank you.
Chief Hullum.
You can see we're still maintaining our calls for service. One of the things that I would tell you, I mean, we're answering a bunch of calls, we're writing a bunch of offense reports. We had 12 individuals arrested, but that was for 48 charges. So that was almost average for 4 one guy sucked a bunch of those in that was, we have a sex offender registration ordinance that you've got to comply with, and we wrote him a bunch of tickets and he went to jail on it. We had, for you businessmen, we had 93 business checks. The guys are getting, I think they've always been doing a good job of checking businesses, but we're saying now, and Chief Funderburg, I think, will appreciate it, you guys need to start calling it in. You know, if it ain't documented, we don't get credit for it. So that's the result of us saying, start calling it in, and that new CAD system that they've got, like I said, had 93. Theft of cement mixer, I was hoping that we were gonna get to talk to that. Zach left and didn't get publicly recognized for helping solve the theft of the cement mixer at the River of Life. He posted the guy's picture. We got him identified. We started trying to find him. He was living over in Cisco. Started making drive-bys. It caused enough heat that he loaded up the cement mixer, took it back to the River of Life, and then on the video,
on the video camera.
and then waved at the video camera to show that he got it back. And then was upset because we filed on him.
Oh my God.
He said, "I brought it back." I said, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. You brought it back.
We should have checked what the rental at Grandpa's tool shed was and charged him for the rental.
I'm sure Mr. Maston would have probably loved to do that. And then, kind of an interesting deal, I try to put stuff that's kind of a little bit different, but we've had 5 hit and runs on parked vehicles. People backing into people at Walmart, people backing into different stuff, and then just driving off. I don't know, you know, the age of accountability, I think, is fast. We had one deal, we had the new law went into effect about chaining a dog, you know, and so we've got word from somebody, and we followed up on it, and we're giving them an opportunity, because it's a new law, to either comply or face consequences. So
started today, didn't it?
yes, sir. So we've already started our education process as far as trying to get the public to comply with it. You know, we'll give them an opportunity to say, hey, you need to do something different. Well, it's mostly, the only thing, it's the same kind of abandonment and care law that's always been into effect, but now if you got chained anywhere, now if you're outside, just for clarification, if you're outside, you're working on your car, you can chain your car, your dog to whatever, because he's considered to be attended. It's an unattended dog that's chained. Now you can cable him, you can do whatever else, but you can't put chains, can't put weights on him, can't put stuff on there. So we're gonna go through the same process that we always go through on a new law, is trying to get compliance through education. And then if they don't comply, then we're gonna start tagging them.
This is state law or?
Yes, sir. It's
The state?
no, it's state. It's 821 and 102, I think, out of the Health and Safety Code. But it's first time it's a Class C. If you've been convicted of it, it can go up to Class B.
So you chaining a dog to a tree, is that against the law?
It is now.
I mean, okay,
It is now.
that's been an issue, I know we've had a problem.
Yeah.
You can tether him.
Yeah, you can tether him, but you can't chain him. You can tie a rope around his neck. You can get those, you know, steel cables. You can do whatever. But if you put a chain on him and he's unattended, means that you're not there, then, you know, you still have a duty to provide him shelter. He's got to have potable water. He's got to have a bunch of other stuff. But the minute you put a chain on him, you leave him unattended, it becomes a violation of law. And the second time we deal with you, you go to jail because it's a Class B misdemeanor.
Really?
So it's up to potentially 180 days in jail.
I was glad to see him have a chain on some pit bulls over at Ranger. When I was taking pictures of houses, they had chains on those things. I was glad they did too.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's, you know, that's what it is, you know. And I mean, if you can't take care of your animals, and, you know, we'll encourage you to do so.
All right.
All right. Anything else for Chief Hallam?
Fire department,
Chief Williamson?
Chief Williamson's got COVID, he apologizes, and Deputy Chief Williams is still out on that fire in the,
Flatwood.
what'd you call it?
Flatwood.
Flatwood area. Looks like last month they had 65 total calls. 42 were in the city limits and 20 were out in the county. 4 were mutual aids. I'm glad to see that they are still doing smoke detector installs. That's a big deal in the fire service. Looked like they had 2 structure fires, which is a pretty good amount for a department that size. Couple of grass fires, vehicle fires, medical assist were down a little bit last month, but that's still a pretty big number. And public assist, which, man, there's a lot of things that could go in that category. Had 8 of those, and looked like they got turned around 11 times. There's a couple notes at the very bottom. Their firefighter of the year was Chief Joe Williamson, and the rookie of the year was Eli Williams, which I believe is Deputy Chief Williams' son. And I'm sure they'll talk more about that next month. And he was going to talk about the traffic light that they're going to have put up at on Seaman Street. And it's not really a traffic light, it's basically where they'll be able to hit a button and they'll flash red when the trucks are moving, but most of the time they'll be off or be
They
flashing
put it
yellow.
up on that pole right there by their station.
The way it was talked to us, they're actually gonna put one kind of by a little bit,
Is TxDOT doing it?
yes, this is a TxDOT project, in front of Jay's, and another one on the other side of the Baptist church, so they can control, and the police station where they can control that whole intersection, where everybody can kind of move freely,
Okay.
so.
Well, one other thing I wanted to mention, Mayor and Commission, that was Bodie that called me. He called me earlier to let me know that the Forest Service potentially was going to have some aircraft come out to the airport for this fire. Well, they're trying to get that thing under control. I think they pretty well knocked it down. But he just got through saying that the Forest Service is going to send 3 Chinooks to base them out of the airport here in the event that they were needed. But I don't, you guys that don't know Bodie, I mean, he is a working dude, and he is top shelf all the way, and he is Mr. Proactive, and he does a really good job of representing our city through that airport.
Well, that's why they come here. They like working with him.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a rough day, rough couple days in the fire service. So for the next couple days, we better watch out.
Anything on municipal court you need to bring up? I don't
No,
have
sir.
a question about it.
I'm moving, adjourned.
Second. A motion from Richard and a second from Cecil. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.